Beloved chosen one, take a deep breath and pause for a moment. This moment right here is not by coincidence. It is not a random alignment of circumstances. No, this is heaven's doing. Right now, you stand at the threshold of a divine transformation, one that is so monumental the heavens themselves have paused everything around you to bring you into this very moment. This is the moment where your spirit will recognize the power of divine timing, where you will finally understand the full weight of what you've endured, and where heaven's affirmation will settle into the depths of your heart. I need you to understand something: you were not brought to this place by mere happenstance. The journey you've walked, the tears you've shed, the moments of doubt you've faced, every step, every challenge, every whisper of fear, all of it has led you here. And as you stand in this space of transformation, know that heaven is not silent. It is watching, it is recording, and it is celebrating you. The Father himself has stopped everything around you, holding the universe in stillness to speak to you in this very moment. It's time to declare, you have passed the test. Heaven sees you. Heaven has been watching every small act of faithfulness, every quiet moment of prayer when no one was around. Every time you rose with courage, even when it seemed like there was no strength left. Heaven took note. Every moment you kept your heart pointed toward God, when everything in the world seemed to be pulling you in a different direction, heaven was paying attention. And now the announcement has been made. You have made it. This is a moment of divine recognition, a pivotal moment in your life. Right now, you might not feel like the weight has lifted, or you may still be wrestling with the remnants of your struggle, but let me assure you, something is shifting. There is a change happening on a spiritual level that you can't quite see with your natural eyes, but it is real. The atmosphere around you trembles, even if you can't hear it. Angels have gathered, and they are watching as heaven's purpose unfolds before you. The weight you once carried, the burdens that seemed to overwhelm you, are no longer yours to bear. The invisible chains that held you in cycles of doubt and delay, the struggles that kept you circling the same battles, are breaking one by one. Right now, you are stepping into a new season of divine purpose. Your trial is complete and your divine rise has begun. What you are experiencing is not just another season of life. It is not just another step in the journey. It is a shift and ascension. And this shift comes with divine validation. Heaven has recorded every tear, every sigh, every act of obedience. And now the time has come for that obedience to be rewarded. Your patience, your endurance, your refusal to give up even when it felt like you were walking alone, these have now reached their appointed time. You may be asking, how do I know this is true? How do I know that what I've been through has not been in vain? The answer is simple: because you are here. You are standing in this moment of divine recognition because heaven has watched your faithfulness in the unseen moments, the moments when no one else knew the battle you were fighting. And now heaven is announcing over your life that you have passed the test. In this moment, there is an unmistakable shift happening in the spirit. It may not look dramatic from the outside, but trust that heaven is moving, realigning your purpose, and setting you up for a season of acceleration. Your trial is over, and you are being released into a season of favor. Heaven is about to reveal the divine plan that has been in the making all along. Your obedience, your faith, your trust, these have all been preparing you for the season you are stepping into. So stand tall, chosen one. Look up, for the heavens are open above you. The divine wind is about to fill your sails, pushing you forward into the destiny you were always meant to walk in. Your rise has already begun. and nothing can stop what heaven has started in you. This is your moment of divine validation. Your time has come. The waiting is over, and the fulfillment of your purpose is now unfolding in real time. Chosen one, I know there were times when the road felt unbearably long. There were nights when you felt like giving up, when the weight of your struggles seemed too heavy to bear. You asked, "Why me, Lord? Why must I endure this pain?" And in the silence, it often seemed like your prayers went unanswered. The world around you didn't seem to notice your efforts, and your heart ached with the quiet loneliness of carrying burdens that no one else could understand. The sleepless nights, the tears, the moments of desperation, they all felt like they were in vain, didn't they? But here's the truth. You might not have realized until now. Every single moment of pain was not punishment. It was preparation. What you thought was the weight of the world pressing down on you was actually the refining fire of divine schooling. You were in the most sacred classroom of all, one where heaven itself was teaching you lessons that would prepare you for your divine purpose. It was not a school that was designed to break you, but one that was meant to shape and strengthen you for the destiny that awaits you. The tests you faced, the long nights that felt never-ending, were not signs of abandonment or failure. They were the means through which you were being equipped for something far greater than you could have imagined. In every moment of struggle, heaven was watching. In every tear you shed, heaven was present, gathering them up like precious oil. What appeared to be delays were actually divine appointments. You were being shaped, molded, and refined, not for the world's recognition, but for something far more eternal. Every painful season you endured was a lesson in resilience, a test of your character, and an opportunity to grow in strength, wisdom, and faith. You were learning how to carry your future with grace, how to stand firm when the winds of life threatened to knock you down. And through it all, you held on to something that so many others would have let slip away, the unwavering thread of faith. There were moments when the silence felt deafening, when the pressure was almost too much to bear, but you did not give in. You may have doubted at times, but you never let go of your belief that God had a plan for you, even when it seemed like that plan was hidden in the shadows. You stood firm when the storms tried to break you. You held on to your faith when it felt like the world was shaking beneath your feet. In those quiet moments when you questioned if God had forgotten you, when it seemed like nothing was moving, you kept walking in faith. You didn't give up even when your path seemed unclear. You didn't bend when the winds of doubt howled in your face. You kept your heart pointed toward heaven, believing that even in the silence, God was still working on your behalf. Faith was the anchor that kept you grounded even when everything around you seemed unstable. And while the world around you may have seen only struggle, heaven saw a steadfast heart, a heart that refused to give in, a heart that trusted in God's plan despite the circumstances. Each time you took a step forward in faith, each time you pressed on, even when it seemed easier to turn back, you were proving something incredible, not just to the world, but to heaven. You were proving that your faith was real, that it was not based on the visible, but on the unseen promises of God. And let's not forget how often your faith was tested. The moments when it seemed as though God was silent were in reality moments of divine training. It was in these seasons of waiting that you were being refined. It was in these times of struggle that you were learning endurance, patience, and trust. Every time you chose to trust in God's timing, instead of rushing ahead in your own strength, you were being prepared for the great work ahead. You learned that sometimes silence isn't abandonment, it's a preparation period for something greater. But now, as you stand in this moment, you are no longer walking in the shadow of doubt and confusion. Heaven has seen your faithfulness, and now it is your time to be acknowledged for what you have endured. The shift in the spirit is real. The silence you once endured is now giving way to a divine acknowledgement. What you once thought was a season of rejection has now become a season of revelation. Heaven has watched your faithfulness when no one else was around. Now the time has come for you to be recognized, not for the struggles you faced, but for the strength you found in the midst of them. Can you feel the weight of this shift? It's not just in your circumstances, but in your very spirit. The burden you once carried is now being lifted. The trials you thought were never ending have brought you to this moment of divine approval. Heaven is releasing you into a new season of purpose, a season where your faith is no longer hidden, but being celebrated in the light of divine recognition. You have passed the test, chosen one, and now heaven declares it for all to hear. This is not just a victory for you, it's a testimony to everyone who doubted, to everyone who questioned your faith. The same struggles that once seemed like barriers to your destiny are now being transformed into stepping stones that elevate you into the fullness of your divine calling. What once seemed like pain, loss, and delay is now the very foundation upon which you will build your future. The Spirit is affirming that you are ready to walk into the fulfillment of your purpose, ready to step into the divine authority and favor that heaven has been preparing you for all along. The shift has occurred, and it is time for you to rise, chosen one, with the full weight of heaven's recognition behind you. The season of testing has ended. The season of triumph has begun. Your endurance, your obedience, and your faith have shaped you into the person you are today. You have been tested and found faithful. Now heaven is opening doors that were once closed and making a way where there seemed to be no way. The trials were not in vain. They were the tools that refined you, and now you are ready to walk in the fullness of your purpose, chosen one. The world may not fully understand the depth of your journey, but heaven celebrates the faith that carried you through. Your rise has begun, and nothing can stop the divine acceleration that is about to unfold. Chosen one, the moment you've been waiting for has arrived, the shift in the spirit that will change the trajectory of your life forever. As you stand at the crossroads of your divine journey, the weight of the trials you've endured begins to transform before your eyes. What once felt like burdens too heavy to carry are now being recognized in the courts of heaven as proof of your divine purpose. Every sleepless night, every tear that fell in solitude, every prayer whispered into the unknown, all of it has been recorded. Heaven itself has witnessed every step of your journey. In this sacred moment, heaven is validating your perseverance. What once seemed like an endless battle against invisible forces is now being acknowledged by God. Your struggles, your endurance, and your steadfast faith, these have all been watched, measured, and recorded in the eternal archives of the universe. Every single moment of sacrifice and every ounce of faith you poured out has been written down and is now being rewarded. The trials you faced, the moments when you felt like giving up, are now no longer seen as obstacles. They are stepping stones that have led you to this moment of divine recognition. Heaven is looking at you, chosen one, and it is declaring, "Well done." Your faithfulness, hidden from the world's eyes, is now shining brightly before all of creation. What was once unseen is becoming visible. The quiet acts of obedience, the moments when you chose integrity over compromise, when you chose patience over frustration, those acts are now being elevated into divine favor. This is a pivotal moment, chosen one. Your trials were never in vain. The hardships you faced are now a testimony to your divine purpose. They are the evidence that you were prepared for something great, something that will impact the world around you. What seemed like delay was simply divine timing, and the wait is over. Heaven is shifting the atmosphere around you. What once felt like a long, drawn-out season of waiting is now giving way to divine acceleration. The favor you once felt distant from is now rushing toward you, chosen one. This shift is not just in your circumstances, it is in your spirit. You are no longer bound by the weight of delay or the chains of unmet promises. Heaven is opening the door, and the very forces that once worked against you are now working for you. The divine alignment that has been set into motion is now unfolding before you. As this divine shift takes place, something even more powerful is unfolding: a divine reversal. The rejection you faced, the pain you endured, and the struggles you thought would break you are now being transformed into divine victories. What once seemed like the end of the road is now the beginning of a new season of favor, abundance, and fulfillment. The world may have seen you as someone who was beaten down, someone who was overlooked or rejected, but heaven saw something different. Heaven saw your resilience. It saw your courage when no one else was watching. It saw your unwavering faith when the world doubted you. And now heaven is taking all the pain, all the rejection, and all the struggles you endured and turning them into the very platform that will launch you into your destiny. Every painful moment that made you question your worth, every door that slammed shut in your face, every dream that seemed to slip away, God is now using these very moments to propel you forward. What you thought was a stumbling block is now becoming a stepping stone. The same voices that once mocked your dreams, the same people who once rejected you, will soon stand in awe of your rise. They will bear witness to the divine reversal that is taking place in your life, a reversal so powerful that it will leave no room for doubt. God has been with you all along. What seemed like an insurmountable wall is now a passageway to your destiny. God's favor is beginning to manifest in your life. The doors that were once closed, the opportunities that seemed out of reach, are now being opened with ease. Where there was once resistance, there is now divine favor. The weight of struggle is giving way to the lightness of grace, and everything that was held back is now being released to you in abundance. You may not yet fully see the magnitude of this divine reversal, but it is happening. Your trials have not been for nothing. God has been refining you, and now you are stepping into your true calling, stepping into the favor and blessing that were always meant for you. You are no longer the person who was tested in the fire. You are the person who has emerged from the fire, refined, purified, and ready to carry the weight of divine purpose. The struggles that once seemed overwhelming are now the very proof of your strength, your character, and your unshakable faith. You have been tested, and you have passed. What the enemy meant for harm, God has used for your good. Every setback, every moment of pain, every betrayal, these have all been used by God to prepare you for this moment. Now you are standing on the threshold of a new season, and nothing can stop the divine acceleration that is taking place in your life. The shift you feel in the spirit is not a fleeting moment. It is a profound, permanent change. Heaven's favor is now upon you, and as you step forward, you will begin to notice a difference in the way people respond to you, the opportunities that come your way, and the doors that open effortlessly. This is the season when God's favor is moving through your life with unprecedented power. The dreams you once thought were out of reach are now coming within your grasp. The struggles that once defined you are now the stepping stones that will elevate you to your destiny. What was once a closed chapter in your life is now opening to a new beginning. Your divine purpose is aligning with heaven's perfect timing, and the favor that has been stored up for you is being poured out in abundance. Every rejection you faced was preparing you for the favor that is now coming into your life. Every closed door was God's way of directing you towards something greater. Heaven is shifting your circumstances, turning every rejection into redirection, every delay into divine timing. What you once thought was a setback is now a setup for your breakthrough. As you step into this new season of divine favor, remember this: you are not where you are by accident. You are here because you passed the test. Heaven has been watching your every move, and now it is time for you to walk into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. The delays were not denials, they were divine preparations for your rise. And now the time has come for your divine acceleration. You are no longer waiting. You are now walking in your purpose. The favor of God is on your life, chosen one. The trials, the pain, the waiting, it has all led you to this moment. And now, as you stand in the fullness of divine approval, know this: your rise has begun, and nothing can stop what heaven has started in you. Chosen one, look at what has come to pass. The moment you have been preparing for is now upon you. You have walked through the fire, you have endured the storms, and you have proven faithful in the unseen places. Now, as you stand in this moment, you are stepping into the divine favor you have been prepared for. A mantle of divine authority is being placed upon you. It is not just a mantle of recognition, but one that holds the weight of God's calling and purpose for your life. This is not just a season of promotion, it is a season of empowerment. You are walking into the fullness of the divine plan that has been unfolding in your life. Everything you have been through was designed to prepare you to carry the spiritual weight of this moment. This is not the beginning of a new journey. This is the fulfillment of the journey that has been unfolding for years, even before you were born. God has been preparing you for this time, and now you are walking in divine favor with a renewed sense of purpose, a sense of authority that will resonate not only in your life but in the world around you. Can you feel it? The shift in the atmosphere as heaven releases a new level of favor over you. This favor is not for personal gain or for status. It is for purpose, a purpose that goes far beyond your own life. You are now walking with the kind of influence that can change lives, transform environments, and shift the very spiritual climate around you. Your life is no longer about your struggles or about how far you've come. It is about how God's plan is being fulfilled through you. You are no longer a passive participant in your destiny. You are an active vessel through which God's will is made known. The trials you faced were never about testing you in isolation. They were always about equipping you to carry this mantle of divine authority. Now that the weight of those trials has lifted, the glory that remains is not just a mark of survival, it is a testimony of divine power. You are walking in that glory now, chosen one, and it will radiate from you in ways that the world cannot ignore. As you step into this divine authority, understand that it comes with a great responsibility, a responsibility to manifest heaven's will here on earth. This mantle is not a prize to be worn for status. It is a sacred covenant that you now carry. You are not simply a recipient of God's blessings. You are now a steward of the divine will, entrusted with the task of bringing heaven's kingdom to earth in ways that will impact lives and shape generations. This mantle is heavy not because of its weight, but because of the depth of responsibility that comes with it. God has chosen you not because you were the most qualified, but because your heart has been tested and found true. You have learned the importance of humility, patience, and surrender. Now, as you walk in this new level of purpose, you must walk humbly. understanding that this authority is not for your own glory, but to serve a higher cause. You are a vessel through which God will move, speak, and act in the world. Your life now serves as a reflection of divine authority. This is not about control or domination. It is about leading others toward their own divine calling, helping others see the light that you have come to know. You are no longer walking just for yourself. You are walking as a beacon for others, drawing them into the truth and love of God. Your life will now be a living testimony that not only tells others that God is real, but shows them the way to experience His love, His grace, and His power in their own lives. As you walk in this divine authority, you must remember that it is not about elevating yourself, but about lifting others up. Your influence is not to be used for personal gain, but for the advancement of God's kingdom. The authority you carry has been entrusted to you to serve, to lead, and to teach. It is a gift, one that you must steward carefully, always remembering the cost of that gift and the responsibility it carries. With this divine mantle comes the call to serve, not to be served. The higher the calling, the greater the responsibility to remain humble, chosen one. The moment you begin to seek glory or recognition for your own sake is the moment that you lose the very essence of what you are called to do. You're not here to shine in your own light. You're here to shine in the light of God's glory, to reflect His love and His purpose to a world that is desperately seeking both. Humility is the cornerstone of this new season. The authority you now carry is not to be flaunted or used to lord over others. It is to be used to build, to heal, and to serve. Just as Christ came to serve and not to be served, so must you. The weight of this mantle requires you to lead with grace, to influence with wisdom, and to impact others with the love that flows from your relationship with God. You will encounter moments where your new authority will be tested. People will look to you for guidance, for answers, for leadership. In those moments, remain humble, chosen one. Know that your authority does not come from your own strength, but from God's. It is not your wisdom that guides you, but His. It is not your vision that leads you, but His divine plan. In moments of power, you must choose humility. In moments of recognition, you must choose service. In moments of influence, you must choose compassion. The mantle you wear is not to make you seen, but to make God's will seen. It is about drawing people into the presence of God, not elevating yourself, but elevating His kingdom. The world may offer you titles, recognition, and fame, but remember, your true reward comes from heaven. You are not here to gain approval from man, but to fulfill your divine purpose. The moment you begin to seek validation from the world is the moment you lose the power of your calling. The world will try to define you by your success, your position, and your influence, but God will define you by your faithfulness, your obedience, and your heart. As you step forward into this new season of purpose, carry this mantle with humility. Understand that God has trusted you with this authority, and He will hold you accountable for how you use it. This is not about a personal agenda. This is about aligning your will with God's, about serving His people, and about being a vessel for His will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. You are walking in the divine favor you have been prepared for, chosen one, but never forget that this is a walk of service. The world may praise you, but your reward will always come from heaven. You have been called to serve, to love, to guide, and to lead others into their divine calling. As you do know that every step you take in humility and service is a step toward fulfilling the divine purpose you were always meant to walk in. Now that you have stepped into this divine mantle, walk with confidence, walk with grace, and walk with purpose. Your rise has begun. You are no longer just the one who endured the trials. You are the one who is now being elevated to fulfill a divine mission, one that will impact the world for generations to come. Chosen one, the moment of divine validation that you have been waiting for has arrived, and it is no longer just whispered in the quiet chambers of heaven. It is being declared in the open for all to hear and see. Heaven's affirmation over your life is now public. The testing, the struggles, the long waiting periods, they were never meant to define you by your pain. They were meant to define you by your perseverance. You are no longer in a season of survival. You are stepping into a season of thriving in your divine assignment. The struggles you faced, the moments of deep doubt, the nights when you felt unseen, they were preparing you for this very moment where the divine crown of favor, authority, and purpose is now resting upon your life. This crown is not for the glorification of your own name. It is a crown given to you for a purpose far greater than yourself. It is not meant to bring you praise, but to propel you toward fulfilling the divine mission you were created for. Your rise is not for your own benefit, it is to serve a higher calling, to impact the world, to be the vessel through which God's glory and love are made known. Understand this, your purpose is now unfolding in the light. You are stepping into a season where what was once hidden is now being revealed. Your faithfulness, your obedience, your perseverance have brought you to this moment of divine revelation. The crown you wear is not one of self-glorification, but one of divine responsibility. You are not just here to enjoy the reward of your labor. You are here to carry heaven's mission and to manifest God's will on earth. This is the moment where heaven's declaration over your life becomes not just a statement, but a calling. The crown is not for personal glory, but for fulfilling the divine mission and purpose that has been entrusted to them. As you step into this new season, understand that your crown, your authority, your divine rise, all of it carries the weight of a higher responsibility. This is not about receiving praise from the world. It is about fulfilling the mission that has been entrusted to you. You have been chosen not because you are perfect, but because you have remained faithful. Your rise is not about making you visible in the eyes of the world. It is about making God visible through your life. It's about fulfilling the divine purpose that has been written over your life before you even drew your first breath. Your crown is not about fame, it's about fulfilling God's plan for the world. Your life has always been a part of a bigger story. Now you are entering the chapter where you no longer just walk through the narrative, you write it. You carry with you the weight of heaven's purpose, and through your obedience, you will change lives, shift atmospheres, and leave an eternal impact. This is the moment where you step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be, not for your glory, but for His. Chosen one, this is your time. The waiting is over. The testing has come to an end. It is time to embrace your rise, to walk confidently into the new chapter of your divine journey. Step forward with the authority and grace that God has bestowed upon you. Know that every single trial, every challenge, every moment of questioning has led you to this moment. You are prepared, you are equipped, and most importantly, you are chosen for this season. As you step into your divine assignment, reflect on how far you've come. Look back at the growth you have experienced, the strength you have gained, the wisdom you have accumulated, and the deepening of your faith. Your journey has not been easy, but it has been necessary. It has been necessary for your divine assignment. You are now walking in the manifestation of God's promises and purposes, and your path is divinely ordered. You are not walking alone. Heaven walks with you. So, chosen one, take this moment to reflect on your purpose. This is your time to live out the calling that God has placed on your life. You are not just a passive participant in God's will. You are an active agent of divine change. You are called to lead, to serve, to shine, and to carry God's light into the world around you. The road ahead is filled with opportunities to make an eternal difference. Step forward confidently, knowing that the very Spirit of God is with you, empowering you every step of the way. But this is not just about you. Your journey is about impacting others, about bringing the light of God into dark places, about inspiring others to walk in their own divine purpose. As you step into your rise, invite others to rise with you. Share your testimony, spread this message of divine validation, and encourage those around you to step into their own calling. Your rise is not just for you, it's for those who will be uplifted and empowered through your obedience. Invite them to reflect on their own journey and the significance of their divine purpose. Urge them to embrace their own rise and step confidently into their calling. There is so much power in community, in sharing the message that God is moving, that heaven is releasing its favor, and that the trials have been preparing us all for something great. So share this message. Spread the light. Let others know that their rise is coming too. The power of testimony is real. Your story will inspire others to move forward with boldness and courage, just as you are. As you walk in your divine authority, bring others along with you. Let your life be a beacon of hope, a reflection of the goodness and faithfulness of God. Take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, and now take the next step in faith. You are not walking in your own strength. You are walking in the strength of the Almighty, carrying His purpose and His light. Let your rise be a declaration of heaven's power. And as you walk this journey, invite others to walk with you. Together we will fulfill the divine mission set before us. Share the message, spread the light, and let the world see the glory of God shining through His chosen ones. This is just the beginning, chosen one. Your rise has only just begun, and the world is waiting to witness the power of your divine assignment.